Okay. All right. Good to see everybody. I think by Friday, it always feels like we're a bit stiff. So I'm going to actually get you to start with side reaches, no squat, just side reach. So all of this type of movement, let's get a nice good stretch to the side. So we'll get started with our just mobility and then overall conditioning and strength. We've done some different formats the last little bit. So we did some extra core, and that's why if you did that class on Wednesday, you might feel that. Let's go another one each side. So we're going to do some of those core movements today. And great. Side lunges, and we also did a little bit of this extra rotation. So once you get going, arms out, and then you're going to reach to the inside of the foot and then together. So you're just getting a little extra rotation. And if that doesn't feel good, then just stay with that side to side, okay? You don't have to go fast with this. It's about getting some range of motion. And let's go just a couple more. Good to see everybody here today. It is, well, it's been another nice week for us. Let's go another one here. Let's do the hamstring scoop. And when you do this one, I want you to reach up and open and then shake it out and switch your feet. So a little scoop and open. Yeah, so let's see. This week we did some different formats. The extra core that we did on Wednesday, if you were here or had the opportunity to do the recording. Our format today, we're going to do big sets of work. So I'll explain that in a second. Here, go one more. And let's do squats and with a reach straight up. So squat and reach. I want you to get a nice, good reach up at the top. So what I want you to think about today is, we'll obviously take some transition time from each exercise, but we're going to do 2 strength moves, conditioning, and then a core exercise, and then we're going to come back to that first strength. So that's how we're going to do the set. It's this big super set. Let's go one more of these. Excellent. So let's do our back lunge, and I want you to rotate to the same side as your front leg. Watch your footing here, and also if you're feeling like it needs to be smaller range, that is fine as well. So let's see what else I should say. So we did those hovering tabletops on Wednesday. If you did that, if you don't like being on your wrists or on your hands, it bothers your wrists, then I want you to be aware of that. And maybe some movements won't feel very good and you can change it. Let's go one more here. And excellent. Okay, and then the squat with the reaches. So this squat with the side reach, open up like so, and then some good mobility, getting that range of motion, loosening up those joints. And if you're feeling stiff at all of these movements should help a little bit there. And then the last one. Excellent. Okay, let's go into a jog or a march. And we'll get the heart rate elevated. And then we'll get started. So if you're marching, it's fine. I want you to just move your body, whatever that looks like today. Again, we're going to do some movement throughout the class today. So I want you to get prepared for that. And let's go to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go side squat and the calf raise. So generally our warm-ups are going to be very similar. Calf raise if you like, or the jump. And it's not about being too complicated with the movements. It's about getting your body warmed up and easily modified if needed. Let's here, one more each side. Excellent. Last one, and let's go into the jump jacks. And here, easily modified, low jacks. If you're not jumping today, you have an injury or just doesn't feel right, there. And you should probably start to feel like your body's nice and warm. I'm just gonna go ahead and on. Keep your feet moving. Shoulder rolls. We can do both arms or one at a time. And let's get ready. I think it's going to get one more stretch for you as the front of the thighs. Let's go one more. So if you need to hold on to something, make sure you do. If you're feeling stiff to the front of the thighs, I don't want you to hold it for too long, but just enough to feel it. We'll do that a couple of times each. So if you have a difficult time with that, you might not be able to do a full quadricep stretch. And that's fine, but just do what you can. And let's go one more each side. Everything else should be loosened up. If you need to pay attention to anything else, go ahead, grab some water if you need. So again, if you just joined the format today, we're going to do supersets, but they're not just the 2 strength and repeat. We're going to do 2 strength, conditioning, core, and then come back to the same. So lots of movement. Let's do a lot of strength. Today we'll get started. Actually, go lighter weights. I'm going to start with the lighter one. This is a squat with a reach. So I want you to be careful with this. I'm going to go ahead and do squat. I'm going to come up. I'm going to do a little pivot. I'm going to lift up my heel. So watch me here. I'm going to go here, and then I'm coming up to do a reach. But I want to make sure I'm not twisting my knee. So I kind of go to the side. I come down, and then I reach up again. Okay, and then down and up. So if you feel okay, I want you to go, back to your normal weight. But since we're moving on that diagonal, I want you to be careful. First, squat, and then reach. So continue with that. Squat and reach. So remember, super big supersets. This is our first strength. We're going to do another strength, some conditioning, and then core. Now, when you do this, I want you to engage your abdominal muscles. You're going to feel what maybe feel like a stretch, but your obliques and your abdominal muscles have to be engaged. And okay, got some different movements today. Squat and reach. I just grabbed my 3s for this one. Second round, I probably will go ahead with my 8s. Again, it depends on how you feel today. Squat, and then I don't know if you can see that my heel lifts, so I can safely, my back heel lifts. One more each side. And remember, go at your own pace. Last one. Good. Okay, lots of different movements today. I want to get you started. You're going to do a crouch forward to a mid-row, alternating. So it looks like this. Crouch, row, push back, and switch. So if you are warmed up already, well then, great. If you are just still getting warmed up, this is all excellent movement to get those muscles working. Your core is tight as you crouch and pull. So this is a little bit of the back of the legs and glutes with that squeeze, keeping your neck nice and neutral. Let's continue here. So big supersets. And after this one, we're going to go into our first conditioning. We'll recover a little bit before we do our core. Let's go. Now, remember, your pace is your choice. I'm going to go 2 more each leg. Crouch and pull, set, back. Last one. Sorry, 1 more each side of this one. Crouch and pull and back. Last one. And release. Okay, go ahead and put your weights down for a second. So sometimes we do 30 seconds, sometimes we do 40 seconds, but this is going to be a minute of conditioning. So I want you to think about how you're going to move your bodies. 30 seconds jog or march, 30 seconds of the jump jack, and that's it for that round. Ready? Let's go. So on this first round of work, your heart rate is probably just getting started. When we do this second round, if anything can be increased or bigger range of motion, let's make sure that you're, giving what you can for the workout today. And, if it's been a while or, maybe you've had a really active week, it might be a little bit less. If you're feeling good, take it up in 3, 2, 1, jump jacks for 30 seconds. Easy or lower impact doesn't mean easy, just means that you're doing the option that feels the best for you today. All right, your core is tight and keep it moving here. Now, perhaps you are doing a bit quicker, right? Maybe it's a little bit slower. It doesn't matter to me at all. In 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, now I want you to bring your heart rate down just enough. If you feel like you need to recover a little bit, you see where I'm at, then take your time, come down to the floor when you're ready. I'm going to preview this movement first, but so if you want to come down, go ahead. We're going to start with a regular plank. And then if you're comfortable, we're going to do reach, reach, tap, tap, and then again. Okay, you can be on your knees or your toes. But let's get started with a regular plank here. Ready, set, let's go. This is just a beginning, just a regular plank. And if you need a little longer recovery, take your time and join in when you're ready. Let's keep those abdominal muscles pulled tight. Look past your hands. Remember, you can be on your knees or your toes, especially when we do the reaches. So let's give that a go. In 3, 2, and 1. So if you're fine on your knees, reach, reach, tap, and tap. Let's keep going. Reach. Keep your hips stable. Try not to rock. And remember, you're fine if you prefer to just hold the plank. And I'm just gonna have a look, see how everybody's managing. Another 10 seconds only. Do what you can. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Careful as you come back. And just relax for a second. So that's one round. Up onto your feet. If you need more recovery, take it. This is the squat with that diagonal reach to the shoulder press again. So if you're up for it, maybe my camera, my screen's okay like that. Okay. So I went with the 3s to start, now I have my 8s. So maybe you're feeling okay with it. Let's review this again. Ready? Join in. Squat and reach. So we're going to repeat these movements. The plank, the core work is going to be just a little bit different. But this round of conditioning, we will do similar, but when we do the jump jacks, I'll show you if you want to change it up just a little bit different if you like. Okay, squat. Nice and close to your body, a little heel lift. Make sure you're not twisting that knee, so you allow yourself to adjust the movement. Okay, squat. If that doesn't feel good, you can just do the regular shoulder press. And more nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and do one more each side. Squat. Last one. Great. Okay, now the second movement is that crouch. Okay, so maybe you started small. Let's preview that again, and then we'll get you to get started. In 3, 2, and 1. So go ahead. Bigger movement if you can. That crouch, pull, reset. So you want to get a nice good squeeze between the shoulder blades. Oh, it's starting to rain out there. So right, inside, getting our workout in, getting the day started just right. Make sure your core is tight. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more each leg. Remember, your pace is your choice. I need big, big movement. 1 more each side. All right, now let's go 1 more here. Release. Okay, so we have the high knee run, we have the jog, we have the march. Actually, I will change this up a little bit. So if anybody wants to do a mountain climber instead, you can. So the mountain climber is very similar to the standing high knee or high knee run. And then the second movement, we're going to try those jump jacks again. And we can pick up the pace. We can do some power jacks, etc. Okay, so 1 minute in total, 30 seconds each, starting now. I'm going to do a bit of each. Actually, I'm going to do that high knee run. I'm going to do a march, but I can also do a mountain climber if that's what you feel like doing today. So 30 seconds of this movement. Even a standing mountain climber is good. Maybe it's a speed run. And 3, 2, 1, and jump jacks. So we can slow it down. We can speed it up. You can do a little bit of power if that's where you are. And then, of course, the low jack. Keep it going. Remember your workout today, and whatever you feel is where you can go today. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. All right, keep your feet moving here. Okay, so we're going to do a different variation of the plank. So take your time. This is where I want you to be really mindful. If your heart rate's up too high and you need a longer recovery, take it. And we're going to come down to the floor. We're going to do a rolling plank if you can. So this plank is on your forearms, and you're going to roll one way, and then you're going to roll the other way. Okay, so we'll try that. If you're not feeling it, let's do a regular plank. And then, so you're going to roll alternating sides, and then we're going to hold a side plank, and then we'll hold the other side plank. So just listen to my cues on this. Hands like this in a plank. Ready? And go. So we start here. This is the rolling part. So we roll. Watch your hip. Let's make sure your hips stay nice and level. If you need to, you're on the knee, right? Rolling one way and then the other. Okay, so I want you to pick a side and hold the side plank. You can have your feet scissor, like stack like that, or one knee down, and hold. Watch the shoulder. Okay. And keep holding. Feel those obliques and side glute. Keep the hips stable. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can either roll the other way or just flip yourself around. Hold the side plank here. In. Right, one knee down could be an option. Lift up that bottom hip. This completes this first round of work. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Excellent. Okay, up onto your feet. That's a nice long set of work. Okay, up onto your feet. Grab some water if you need. Now, we are going into the next set of superset. Superset of exercises. So I want you to grab your weights here. You're going to do a squat to a lunge or a back lunge. Squat to a back lunge, and then alternate. So it looks like this. 1 squat, short stride lunge or regular lunge, squat, and lunge. So if you're not feeling the lunge, this becomes all squats, which is totally fine. You can modify this however you like, really. Squat and lunge. Okay, when you do the lunge, or when you do the squat, your butt is back here, good alignment, and squat and lunge. Keep going with those alternating legs. Okay, now since we're doing these big supersets, the second round I might do some variations of the movements, but you get similar idea. Okay, now lots of different, movement patterns. Let's go one more each leg. And last one. Okay. Now I'm going to guess you're going to go a little bit lighter since the upper body, but let's see how you feel. Let me show you first. One front raise, one side raise. Front and side. So the legs get a bit of a break while we focus on the arms. Bend the elbows if you need. Maybe this is an upright row and a nice bent elbow. Okay, if this is bothering the shoulders, then bend. And I just have my little threes here. So my guess is if you have 10-pound weights, this might be a bit much, but anywhere between 3 and potentially 8. You can always see how that feels. If it starts to hurt, then that's when you lower the weight or change the range of motion. It should be effort. Good. So one front, one side. All right, keep going with these. And we're going to be doing our conditioning, remember, and core. So it works today. All right, now, the other day I forgot a movement, and luckily Tiffany saved me from getting completely lost. But anyway, so we'll try to remember everything here. Go last one. And really, I really appreciated that because I was completely lost. All right, so this is a narrow squat and a wide squat. This can be conditioning, a little bit more strength, but if you can, it starts like this. Wide and narrow, wide and narrow. So that's the option is here without the jump. Okay, so let's get started here. First one for 30 seconds. I'll show you the other movement. I'll preview it before the timer will start. So wide and narrow. You can modify this if you need. So this should be something that's going to get your heart rate elevated. You don't have resistance. It's more of that jump and jump if you can. Okay, doesn't have to be a jump. And you've got 5 more seconds. Watch me on this one. In 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to get you to go into that transverse and straight jump. Transverse, straight jump, or it can become a snowboard jump if you're up for it. Okay, let's go. That's the option. Or wide, up, down, and up. Okay, that could be a calf raise too. This is what we call a transverse squat. So you're moving, each movement might be a little bit different. Okay, if you're doing a snowboard, be careful. And you've got 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, shake out your legs. So far, so good. All right, back to core. Bring your heart rate down enough. We're on our back. Grab a weight if you like for resistance. And we're going to do this as our leg extensions, but I want you to try something else if you can. So the first option is here, dropping the one leg at a time. Your head stays down and you switch legs. If you want, I'll try something a little bit different. Try your arms straight, peel your shoulder blades up. Lift up your legs from here and then stay in that crunch while you extend your legs or even straight leg. Okay, I know I give you maybe too many options, but it's leg drops with the crunch Maybe it's those leg extensions, maybe your head is down, and just those dead bugs or leg drops, and keeping your core nice and tight, and back nice and flat to the floor. So if you're staying in that crunch, you're going to feel those abdominal muscles. Make sure it's not straining. Flat, flat. One more each side. And last one. Excellent. Okay, reset. So take your time rolling up to seated. And I want you to also just remember, if you feel like you get dizzy with this, take your time, come on up onto your feet. And we are going to do the squat with the lunge again. So take your time, please. Give yourself enough time to reset. All right, second set in the superset. Let's do squat with the back lunge. Ready? And go. So if you feel that you are getting nice and warm and now you can get into a better range of motion, go ahead. If you notice that, going too low is bothering you today, that's when you are going to shorten the range. Maybe you're not doing a lunge, and that's fine. Okay. Shoulders back. Alignment, watch the knee. And squat. Shoulders back. Well done so far, everybody. Hope you're feeling good. Watch that. When you push into the other leg, you shift your weight to keep everything nice and upright. And you're so close to the end of this one. I'm going to go one more each side. Shoulders back. Squat. Lunge. Squat. And final here. And release. Okay, so again, you are going to decide what weight you can manage. Front raise, side raise. It can be a upright row, side raise, if that feels better. Up and side. Front and not too high. That's really important that we go only as high as those shoulders, and even shorten the range if you need it a little less. We're going to do that wide and narrow, either stepping squat or jumping. Coming up. Take your time if you need. Let's go another couple here. Let's go one more each. From front and side. Excellent. Okay, good. Shake out your arms. Back to those narrow and wide. This can be the stepping option. I'll start wide and then narrow. So one like that. Okay. Out and in. Soft landing. If you're jumping or you're stepping. Let's go. Keep going here. So this is for 30 seconds, and then the transverse with a straight jump or the snowboard jump. Out and in, out and in. Keep going, another 3, 2, and 1. Remember, watch your footing. You can be there to here, here to here. If you want to do the snowboard jump, now would be your time. Be wide. It doesn't have to be fast. Okay. Keep going. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Finish off here. Last one. And release. Oh. Okay, that should bring your heart rate up again. So let's make sure it's coming down a little bit before we take it to the floor. And we're going to do that variation of the dead bug Let's see, I think I can keep that there. Okay, so a couple of options with this. Maybe you don't want resistance, but you'd like coming up in a crunch and then dropping. See, I'm in a crunch there and I'm doing one straight leg drop. That might be an option, or your dead bugs. Okay, and let's go. You can try that in a crunch and any variation of these. Make sure that you're pulling those muscles in, tapping even, head down, or in that crunch position. That bothers the back. That's when you want to make sure you bend the knees or shorten the range. Okay, and just about there. One more each leg. And reset. Excellent. Okay, and relax. Okay, now slowly up onto your feet. Grab some water and into the next set of work. If you have a weight with you, make sure you bring it up with you. And some water. All right, we're doing great. We've got 2 complete sets behind us. With the core in the mix, maybe we'll try for another 2. We'll see how we manage. All right, so grab your weights. If you can, I'm gonna get you to do a squat with a bicep curl. If you wanna do bicep curls alone by themselves, that's fine too. So not too wide. If you can, you're squatting and you're bicep curling. Give that a try here. Okay. Now, this set of strength, we're gonna do legs with the arms. So if you don't wanna do the arms with it, just focus on the bicep curls, and then we can focus on the triceps. Now, we did a variation of the hand placement for triceps the other day, so we're going to try that again. And I'm going to get you to try the reverse bicep grip and also the neutral and see if one feels better than the other when we get to it. Make sure when you're squatting, you are squatting independent of the bicep curl. Great work. Everybody is working so well today. Of course, always lots of options so everybody can feel that they are getting the workout that they are looking for today. All right, 2 more times. One more time. And great. Okay, so with the triceps, we're going to stand on one foot. And since we're going to be doing, we'll do one foot and the other foot before we move on to the conditioning. So we're not going to do too many on the one leg. So this is the neutral. This is neutral and regular tricep. If you want to try it like that, you're pulling behind. It's a bit different on the shoulders, and you might feel the triceps a bit different. So try it out. Also depends on the size of your weights. Let's go. Hinging from the elbows. All right, I'm gonna go to 5. 1, stand up nice and tall. Let's switch feet. Maybe you change the grip on this one. You can try the same, and let's go. Reach. And reach. Let's go another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, roll the shoulders. Okay, so a little bit of triceps there. So if you can on this one, we're going to do the burpee as one option for this conditioning. So if you're feeling like the wrists aren't a good option for you, I'm going to get you to do your drop squats instead of the burpee. Okay, second movement, we're going to do our skaters. Actually, we haven't done the 3-step agility, so 3-step skaters will be the second move. Okay, we do regular skaters all the time, but not always that. So let's do either burpee or those drop squats. Ready? And let's go. Remember, you can modify however you need. If you're not liking the burpee or that variation, can be a good option for you. You can use your chair or that, chair, sofa. So you're still going through the motions, it's just a bit more manageable and your pace. Watch your footing, see how it feels. And 3, 2, and 1. Take your time, reset yourself. 3-step agility. Let's walk it through together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Step it. It can be a power skater at the end. Watch how you feel and change it if you need. Okay, it doesn't feel good. Just smaller range of motion. Modify if you need it. 3, 2, 1. That's it. All right. Now, that gets your heart rate up just enough. And we're going to cool it down just a little bit. If you remember, if you need a little bit less, don't worry. Just come down when you're ready. We're going to do a side plank. We're going to do a side plank hold and then a twist. So not too long of a hold if you need to. Maybe you have shoulder injury that you get to do more side leg lifts, laying on your side. That's a good option if you need, okay? If you don't like the twist, then you're going to stay in the hold. So I'm going to do a 10-second hold. Let me show you first before I start the count. So up and hold, okay? Or stack your feet. Ready? And go. I know we did the side plank already, but we're going to add a twist. Looks like this. In 3, 2, 1, and twist. Underneath. And keep going here. Let's try number 2. Keeping that bottom hip lifted. One more time. And now reset. Okay, switch sides. So side plank, hold, and then twist. So if you don't like the side plank, this becomes a side leg lift. Okay, so that's fine too. Ready? And go, just hold first. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and twist. I'm just going to put my knee down when I do this, so you decide if that feels better. Keeping your hip facing towards the ceiling. We don't want to rotate that hip. Okay. And number 4 in this. And 2. And 1 more. And release. Okay, well done. Okay, shake out your arm. And you're going to come up onto your feet. This is the squat with the bicep curl again. All right, and take it up onto your feet. This, it's so classic. I think I'm probably gonna run out of time. Again, it's like I'm trying to put it all in. We'll see. Let's go. Let's focus on this round, second round, see how we manage. Maybe we'll focus on core and a nice good cool down today instead of another round. Let's make the most out of this squat with the bicep curl right now. Squat and bicep. Okay, so it's this and then the triceps with the one leg. And if you want, when we do that one, you could, if you lifted your leg and got some more balance work, great. If not, maybe this time you can. And ooh. And this is a nice good combination move. Or of course, if you want to do biceps alone, go ahead. Maybe it's a couple squats and a couple bicep curls. I'm gonna go 3 more here. Your pace is all your choice. Looks good. 1 more. Now, in this one, okay, so you had that neutral wrist, neutral hand grip, but I didn't have my foot lifted last time, but I'm gonna give that a try this time. And I'm gonna try 10 on one side, 10 on the other foot. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, stand up nice and tall. Same hand placement or switch it. Other leg for 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that feels good. And put your weights down. So yeah, definitely we're going to do this with more. We'll do one set of chest work. It won't be part of a superset, but I'll make sure we squeeze that in before we do our final core. But in the meantime, it's the burpee again, or the modification burpee for 30, and the 3-step agility or that power skate for 30. So start with the burpee in 3, 2, and 1. So remember, you have all the options for you. So if you're up for it, all the way down. Okay, make sure you're stable. And if you want to modify, still you like to do burpee, but maybe it's a step out and then a jump. Okay, watch how everything feels. If it's too much on your wrist or your shoulders, that's when you modify, and maybe it's a completely different movement. 3, 2, and 1, 3-step. Let's go. Join in, you're ready. Footing, low impact. Maybe it's a hold or you end up in that power skate. Okay, almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, that's a minute of conditioning. It's always, I feel like a minute of once, same movement feels longer than 30 seconds. All right, when you're ready, come down to the floor. We are going to do a side plank with the leg lift this time, so not a twist. And after that, do a bit of chest and then some more core today. All right, so come on down. If you're okay doing the side plank with the leg lift, this can be a leg lift without the side plank, right? Maybe you're right down. Let's go. Keep going here. I'm going to try 20. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that always feels like the right amount. 15 even, but those last 5 are the real work. Okay, other side, make sure you're set up and try the 20 again. And side glute working. Bottom as well. 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. It's really work. 17, 18, 19, and 20, and reset. Whew, okay, hopefully you feel that. Now, I want to do one little bit of chest work. So it's only going to be one. Actually, we're not supersetting, but I'm going to get you to do 2 sets of either push-ups or chest press. We're not going to combine any other strength with it. This is going to be a set of push-ups, rest, or a set of chest press, rest, and then repeat it, and then you're done with that, right? So let's go. I'm going to do push-up for my first round, and then I'll grab my weights for the chest press. So 20 has been a good number. So let's do that. You can find your pace. Let's start now. On 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's sit back and release. Okay, so those are my counts, but maybe you did a few less, but slower pace. That's totally fine. I'm gonna grab my weights for chest press this round. Okay, shake out your arms. Choose the option that feels the best for you. I'm gonna count 20 of these chest presses. Okay. And then remember, we're gonna do some more core and then let's cool down. So let's go. 2, keep your core tight. 3, 4, 10. And here's 15 for me, 16, 17, 18. And remember, it's always about you and we know what weights you have, 20, that's it. So I'm only using 8 pounds. So I feel like I could do lots and lots of them. All right, you're gonna stay on your back. If you do need a sip of water, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, we'll go right into our last bit of core. And since, remember, core is not always about the abdominal muscles, but in this case, we're gonna keep our feet lifted. And I'm gonna get you to do windshield wipers. So your feet are lifted, your knees are bent. Take your elbows out to the side. You're gonna keep those abdominal muscles engaged. You're gonna drop your legs to one side and then back. So you don't wanna let your legs drop to the side, but they go over to the side. You wanna feel those oblique muscles and your shoulder blades should stay, both of them should stay pretty firm. Okay, if you over rotate, you'll notice that the shoulder blade lifts. So let's just keep it working the right muscles. It might feel like a stretch, but we're working this lower abdomen. All right, now I'd like you to go one more each side. Remember those tabletops that we did the other day? If you were here, it was a hovering tabletop. We're gonna give those a try again, since it was a new movement that I introduced. Okay, and relax. So if you didn't do it, and if you feel like it's too much on your hands, I'm gonna roll it up to seated. If it's too much on your hands, then I'll get you to do a regular plank, but this is a tabletop position here. So hands and knees. So that's our regular tabletop. We're gonna do a hovering tabletop. Okay, so if you were with me the other day, the knees come off the ground. Okay, so we do that hold. We pull the abs in. I was thinking of what other people call this. Could we call it a bear pose? I'm just gonna call it like it is. It's a hovering tabletop. Hold it here. Okay, now from this position, if you want more of a challenge, neutral neck, try to tap one shoulder, tap the other. Now, you see I'm rocking a little bit. I want to try to limit my rocking and stay super still. Okay. Now, I can do a couple and then rest. This can be quite challenging, so we try it. One more each. And rest. Okay. So hopefully that feels good. You want to feel your shoulder stabilizers. You don't want to be rocking, so those abdominal muscles are pulled tight. So I want you to rest for a second. And I'm going to get you to try this hovering tabletop where we did that kick through. So I'm going to get you to try this if you can. So I'm back in the hovering. Let's see if you can see clearly over here. So lift it. Now I'm going to turn. I'm going to keep everything nice and tight first. So I don't need to shoot my leg out. I'm going to keep it tight. Come back to that tabletop. And then the other side. Now, if your mat is kind of rolling up like mine is, it can be a bit tricky. So maybe you're off the mat. So if it doesn't feel good on your shoulder, then make sure that you do another plank. And let's go one more. Okay, if that hurts the shoulders, that's an indication but that's not a movement for you. So a plank is a great option. Roll the shoulders. Sit back into child's pose. And reset. We're going to do some glute bridges. And that's on your back. Your knees are bent. So your heels are close to your bum so you can lift up pretty high. If it's too far, you might feel that more in your hamstrings. So let's get, you can try maybe different foot placements. See what feels the best. Okay, so we squeeze up and then we come back down. Nice and stable through the hips, nice and even. Up and down. And squeeze, pull the abs in. And it's a good hip stabilizer. Almost done with this. Let's go another 4. As high as you can without arching. Okay, so pull the abs in and lift. Let's go another 2. And one more time. Reset. Okay, I want you to go onto your front. We're going to do something called a flutter kick. And when you do that, let's start with our hands stacked. So hands stacked, your forehead comes down onto your top hand. We're going to lift up the thighs. Okay, so this is a low back movement. So we're going to try to lift up the thighs, relax. So don't point your toes, otherwise the movement is more in the calves. We want to feel it more through the low back and into the glutes and low back. Okay, so if we can, we're in that flutter kick position. Try to get those thighs up off the floor. If that's too much for you, you feel strain in your back, that's when you take it down. Okay, so let's see my legs. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, so effort in the low back feels different than strain. It might feel a little bit of tiredness, right? A little bit of fatigue in there. Move my weights a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go into my low back extensions here, and then I'm going to pull my elbows back. I'm going to take them out again and reset. So up first, thumbs up, pull the elbows back, feel a squeeze between the shoulder blades, out and down. Okay, we'll do a few of these, and we're going to end with a nice cool down recovery. Let's do a couple more. Squeeze it and pull. Let's go another 2. And we'll get right into some stretching, mobility again. Last one. Up and pull and reset. Okay, now I want you to carefully push it back. The child's pose. Okay, so if that feels good, now I'm going to take one leg forward. That's our hip flexor stretch. So we lift that first. So you want to feel that in the front thigh and the hip of the back leg. So you're reaching that same arm up. Take it over to the same side as the front leg. And now lean back for a hamstring. Okay, gentle stretch here, not too intense. And then from here, let's come forward again. And now let's open up to the same side as your front leg. Okay, switch sides. Excellent. So we don't ever want to force these stretches. So if it doesn't feel good, just ease off a bit, reach up. And over. That's a good stretch. Lean back. Hamstring of this front leg. Great. And now come forward. And let's open the same side as the front leg. Here, let's go up onto the feet. Let's do a bit of rotation. And those side reaches that we did at the beginning, reach up and over and back. So if you were feeling stiff at the beginning of this workout today, hopefully you feel that we moved those muscles, those joints enough, you feel a little bit more energized, looser, you're not feeling like sluggish or feeling those, like your legs feel so heavy. Okay, and roll the shoulders, take your hands behind, and let's do a little tilt. And I think we got a lot of good work and movements in today. I am planning on doing a class on Monday, so I'll be signed on if you are around and you'd like to join. That'd be great. Big shoulder roll. And let's reach the arms up and hands behind your ears. And we should also do a quadricep stretch. So let's take one leg. Let's see if that feels any different than we did at the beginning. Side. Excellent. Okay, so I recorded today's class. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And then if anybody needs a little bit more of a stretch, spend some time doing some other stretches that you need, that is great. Let's go ahead and stop this first.